welcome to the first week of June. Oh my goodness, you know what? It has been a rough week and a half for me. I got sick with a cold, my daughter was teething, didn't let me sleep, then all of a sudden that gets better, then our daughter comes home with lice from daycare and so nicely shares it with her mom. So it was a catastrophe week and a half for me, and for our whole family actually. And so really just getting back into the swing of things, was able to sit down at my desk with all my 5 screens this week, which was a lot of fun. I've seen that some things have changed on Equityfeed as far as the charting, and I've got to get used to that. And also on Friday, Dan from Trade Ideas was monitoring the free trading room and was giving us a sneak peek about the artificial intelligence, which is really cool. It has your target exit, your stop right as you go into it. So if you haven't already, check out the free trading room. The link is down below. As far as the book, it was a good week. Everything is off to the editors. It is 100% done on my end. Now I'm just waiting for them to really get the ebook up and running and send it off to the printers. And that's it. It should be out hopefully the 15th. It might be pushed back just a couple days. So it's all on their end now that I'm waiting for them to finish up the process, and it will be ready for you guys to read. I'm really excited to share it and hopefully have it go viral, because this is the sort of thing that, you know, when you hear about other traders' experiences, at least for me, that's what really helped keep me on the path to becoming profitable, hearing about others' pitfalls, you know, the downside in trading as well, so that you don't have to make those same mistakes. You know, it's really important to trade smart, risk management, you know, and trade with a plan. Go ahead and look at the stocks, understand them, understand the market, understand the charts as far as the patterns. Because when you just go in blind, my husband will always tell you, there's this great meme on Twitter. It says, when you trade the stock market without a plan, and it's a guy jumping into a shark. And that's basically it. You know, when you go ahead and you just jump into the market, you are just going blind, and that's no bueno. You know, it's not good. You really need to go ahead and plan things out, look at your support and resistance. Obviously, some stocks are going to be momentum stocks, some penny stocks like that are hard to really plan out ahead of time unless you start seeing the volume building up a little bit. One of the ones like that is HTGM, which has been building up off of the support level the past 2 days, and it looks like the MACD on the daily chart, it's curling up, so it could go up, but I know they just did an amendment to their 8K as far as issuing out more shares. So I don't know, it could go either way on Monday, but that one is one just sort of on the back burner to watch on Monday, since it is a lower float stock. And getting into the book, sorry, not the book, but into my watch list for the week. I do have a bunch of longs and shorts as usual. As always, guys, I'm not a financial professional. This is all trading at your own risk. The price targets that I give are basically, if that target is met, you know, and exceeded on the long side, I believe that the momentum will continue it up. And if it breaks down through that price target on the short side, it will continue on down further. I will always also post these price targets in photos on Instagram and Twitter so you guys can see it in writing. I know some people are better auditory and some people are better looking at it visually, so you guys will have both of it. And I'm going to try to implement some more charts. Like, I'm going to show you the Bank of America chart this week. On the daily chart, you can see there's a nice head and shoulders building, which looks like it's going to have a potential breakdown to it, depending on what happens on, you know, coming up for the banks. So going forward with the longs, we have CCIH. That one I do have on both long and short because it did spike up the past 2 days, and it looks like it could very well fade if the momentum stops, and then it's going to drop quickly. So for the long side, if 178 is broken, I believe it's going to exceed that and continue running up. And if it breaks down below 140 on Monday, I think that it will continue down as a nice short. CGG, if that breaks to the upside of 767, or if it breaks down below 650 for a nice short. TGTX, if that breaks through 1410, looks like it will have nice, good momentum. GOOS, If that continues upward past 2180, that has had 2 nice green days and has a lot of nice momentum behind it. ACHN, if that breaks through 520. And then ions is a very interesting chart. It looks like it's coming up to a resistance point, but it actually just broke through a little bit of a resistance point. On the weekly, it looks like it could go up to 57 before it's going to pull back. So I think if ions breaks through 50, it's going to continue to 52, 50-ish, and then up to 55 and then 57, or those are the potential resistance levels. For shorts, we have Lulu. Lulu on Friday was very interesting. They were talking about restructuring their stores. They had a big surgence up on Friday. However, I believe there are a lot of bag holders there, and they were going ahead and taking their profits, which caused it to go red on the day. So I do believe that it's more likely to be a short rather than a long. With a breakdown, if it breaks down through 54, then it looks like it'll continue downward with a gap to the downside. And as far as a resistance level, I believe 56.50 would be a resistance level for it. We also have PANW, which has had 2 up days to it, and it's Pena Alto, I think. And so I think if that one continues downward, it did have a lower high on Friday than on Thursday. So if that continues with that downward trend and breaks through 136, I believe that it's going to continue on downwards. You know, it looks like 133 was the low on Thursday, so that would be the first support level. I would say 140 would be the resistance to break if it were to break out to the upside. We also have SYNA. If that breaks down through 57, I think resistance to look at it would be 58 to the upside. So if you see it breaking and going up towards 58, you know, use that for your risk assessment. ADSK, if that breaks down through 110, looks like it should be a good short. It has been hovering up there. It did gap up. It's hovering. It looks like it's consolidating. And if the momentum breaks to the downside, 110 would be the level of support to break through. If it were to break to the upside, I think 114 would be the resistance to break through to go long. BAC, like I said, Bank of America, it does look like a nice head and shoulders pattern. It looks like if it breaks through 22, it's going to continue on down and have a nice downward trend to it for a couple days. We also have Mbot, which was very volatile this past week. It had 2 up days, Wednesday and Thursday, and then on Friday it did have a red day. So it did have its first red day, and if it continues down, breaking down through 365, it looks like it will be a good short after that as a penny stock or lower cost stock. That's it for the week, guys. As always, Carpe Profit. Check out the links below and make sure to go ahead and pre-register for my book. I'm really excited to share it with you. Have a great week, guys.